Good morning and welcome everyone to Opening Bell. I'm your host Nikki Mirchandani and I'm here to take you through the news and cues that could impact the trading day. Of course, Indian shares have got on to a cautious start amidst mixed global cues. GIFT Nifty trades higher by 8 points, signals in a muted start coming in for the Wall Street stocks climbed early Monday and of course they ended higher previous nights, extending the upturn at the start of the holiday shortened week. Microsoft shares rose after it hired in ouster OpenAI co-founder Sam Altman. That's a bit of a development there. But overall, if you talk about Asian markets, they show in mixed signals despite Wall Street gains. Talk about FII data, they've sold shares around 645 odd crore and DIIs have bought equities to an extent of 77 odd crore. In terms of the FNOQs that we have, FIIs have been the net buyers in index futures. In fact, they've just been the buyers in the futures segment and they've been sellers overall in the option segment. If you talk about the index options, FIIs have been the net sellers to an extent of 17,464 crore. They've also been the net sellers in the bank Nifty options put together. If you talk about the FNO ban, what is new in the ban is BHEL, Indiabulls Housing Finance and NMDC. What still remains in the ban is RBL Bank, Z Limited, Delta Corp, Hindustan Copper, MCX, Chambal Fertilizer, Manappuram Finance and India Cements. If you talk about option Qs, well, Nifty PCR right now is a bit lower, suggesting that it's below that one level, suggesting that the sentiment right now is turning to be a bit bullish, given that traders are buying in more calls than puts. But let's discuss the trade setup and the strategies along the day, along with a few recommendations that we have from Ajit Mishra, who's the SVP-Technical Research at Religare Broking, joining us early this morning. Morning there.
Good morning, Nikki.
All right, Ajit, your idea, your cues that you're picking up from the trade setup, of course, and the levels that one could watch out for, both for Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, and of course, few stock recommendation too.
So, Nikki, almost like 3 days, we have been seeing that index has been hovering in a band, a very narrow range when it comes to the Nifty index, despite the underperformance of the banking pack. So it's a kind of like a time-wise correction that we are seeing in the market, which is very healthy, considering the kind of move that we had from the recent bottom. So after roughly around 1,000 point kind of a rally from 18,800 to 19,800, we expect Nifty to spend at least a couple of sessions more in a range. And any dip towards 19,620, 600 area is basically the area where one can look for re-entering longs, with 500 being the stop and 19,850. And then in case if we manage to surpass this level, then maybe closer to 20,100 plus zone as a position target. So it's a buy and dip market when it comes to the index, Nifty and banking, but on the other hand, is still showing sign of weakness. So any rebound towards 43,700, 43,800 area is the area where one can look for going short, in the banking index, with 44,000, 44,100 being the resistance area. So net, we have diverse view when it comes to Nifty and the banking index. But when it comes to stock specific, across sectors, barring the banking and financials, we are seeing buying opportunity. So one should stay stock specific. And in fact, the broader markets, which are showing tremendous resilience. In fact, the mid cap index have made a new record high. The small cap is anyways trading at the record highs. So one should stay stock specific and look for the sectors which are showing resilience. So among the top 3 ideas that we have for the day, the first one on the list, we have Bharti Airtel. So this telecom stock has been a consistent performer, hardly sees any, excessive volatility even during the tough days. And finally, we have seen a fresh breakout after 1.5 months of consolidation. The stock is anyways trading at the record high. So we expect this positive tone to continue. And 1,015 is what we are eyeing in Bharti Airtel in the near future. So with stop at 938, one can go long in Bharti Airtel. The second stock that we have on the list is Balrampur Chini. So sugar stocks, we are seeing on and off kind of participation. And Balrampur Chini, after nearly a week-long consolidation, has witnessed fresh breakout in the last trading session. So we expect this momentum to extend further. And 456 is what we are eyeing as an immediate target. So we'll stop at 440. One can go long.
I'm just going to interrupt you here for a bit and address the market open and then come back to you again, of course, and talk about Balrampur Chini and other few stock recommendations that we might have. But just open there, marking well. It's a good start coming in for the markets. We were actually anticipating a cautious start, or let's just say a flattish start coming in, because the cues were pretty much mixed, given Gift Nifty was indicating a flat start and Asian shares also had turned mixed. But of course, US shares ended quite well last night, and Nifty at this point of time is doing well in trade, and we're seeing gains to an extent of 0.4% for Nifty. Beg your pardon, 0.3% for Nifty, and it's trading around that 19,750 level thereabouts. So it is a good start. Remains to be seen if we witness some amount of consolidation through the course of the day. But Bank Nifty also is doing well. It ended also a little bit, both of these indices ended a bit of, on a flat note on the previous session. But in today's session, there seems to be a bit of uptick there coming in for Nifty as well as Bank Nifty, and mid-cap index also is doing well in trade today. A bit of outperformance rather coming in for the small cap and the mid-cap index, outperforming by a margin out there. So, the broader indices continue to outperform there. But let's also talk about Nifty PSU Bank along with Nifty IT Index to see how is the trend shaping up for these two sectoral indices. Well, we are looking at gains coming in for the Nifty PSU Banking Index too. Gains to an extent of 0.5%. And if you talk about the Nifty IT Index, well, it is holding up in green with gains to an extent of 0.5% out there. In terms of what we have for other sectoral indices, let's look at the charts that we have. Nifty Pharma seems to be doing well, 0.25% of gains coming in for Nifty Pharma. Nifty Metal also is witnessing some amount of traction there, 0.1%, almost 1% gain coming in for the metal index. FMCG is pretty much also sliding. Actually, it's a flat start coming in with a bit of negative bias for this one, and auto seems to be in top gear. Let's move on to the top gainers and the top losers that we have, just to mark the open there and see where the trend is exactly shaping up, and the sectors, or let's just say the stocks which are doing well. It is a good start indeed. Nifty about 19,750 mark, and Sensex up 200 points. Hindalco, Adani Enterprises and Tata Steel, these are some of the top gainers that we have. Apart from that, we have JSW Steel, HDFC Bank and Reliance. Essentially, that's where the support is coming in for the markets. It's HDFC Bank and Reliance, the heavyweights which are lifting the market right now. Nifty at least higher. And also Bank Nifty seems to be doing well too. Along with that, let's also address in the top losers. The market price right now is widely in the favor of advances, 40 advances versus 10 declines. That's the Coal India, ONGC and Tata Consumer Products. These are some of the top losers that we have. Apart from that, Cipla, DV's Lab and Asian Paints. These are other top losers that we have. But let's go back and check with Ajit, what does he make out of this open right now? A start which seems to be about that 19,750 mark. How does he read on to this, and what can be expected going forward? Does he expect some amount of consolidation?
So yes, Nikki, the opening is largely on the expected lines. Basically, Nifty is something that we were eyeing. This zone close around 620 to 630 area being the support. So yesterday we tested mark and we are seeing a rebound. But upside, we still feel that this zone 19,800, 850 will continue to act as a resistance at least from the next couple of days. So it's going to be broadly this range bound session continuing with 19,550, 500 being the lower band, and 800, 850 being the upper band. So until we see the conversion between the two indices, both Nifty and the banking index, I doubt that there will be any significant up move. The other sectors are basically playing supporting role, when the banking is not participating. So though today we are seeing that uptick in the banking also, but it should sustain, and the banking index should surpass this hurdle of 44,000 level decisively and hold. Then we expect this alignment between both the indices through, and the best part is that the global markets are basically showing conducive trend. So as long as we are seeing all these factors inching in similar lines, so maintaining a buy on this approach is something that is still prudent.
All right, let's quickly address in stocks and news. Aishwarya, I'm going to come back to, Ajit, I'm going to come back to you in just a bit. But let's address in the stocks and news first. Tech Mahindra, which is formed in a joint venture with Neom Tech and digital company Autonomous. The JV is to provide product and platform development services, metaverse services and solution intellectual property. This is to Autonomous, other Neom group companies, which is essentially Neom is a Saudi Arabian development company. So Tech Mahindra is right now, along with a bunch of IT names, actually doing well. In fact, Bernstein has come in with a report on IT sector where it speaks about the sector focus now being shifted away from FY24 towards growth outlook in FY25. So clearly FY24 has now been written off, and the brokerage believes on stabilization of US macros, bottoming of cloud revenue upcycle in FY25, and strong order book, which is almost up by 48% sequentially, and a leaky bucket remains, which is BFSI and telecom companies. It also talks about sector being better positioned for a growth recovery in FY25 and sees margins improving and a double-digit EPS growth. It's also talk about valuations which are largely stable and remain in line with 5-year average. It basically remains positive on select large cap names like Infosys and TCS put together. I would also want to talk about Religare. Of course, that's the one where the company has closed in a 600 crore QIP at a price of around 643 rupees per share. Religare is the stock that I'm talking about. The Religare, it's, the company is going to be utilizing or will be utilizing the funds for strategic investment, acquisition, and inorganic growth. We can move on from Tech Mahindra to Religare. Some of the notable investors in the QIP include ICICI Prudential Mutual Fund, which actually have invested in Sundaram Mutual Fund and Societal General. That's some of the names that essentially have entered into the stock with the QIP. So that's a big development there. But let's go back to Ajit and check with him. What does he make out of something like IT names, which seem to be doing well in trade? Tech Mahindra is clearly one of them. Do you like anything else within the space?
So, Nikki, within the IT space, means if you have observed one trend that some of these mid-cap IT names like Persistent, Birlasoft, they've outperformed the overall sector, and now we are seeing broader participation. So, if you exclude a couple of names like Wipro, Emphasis, these are the names which you are not seeing any traction, but the rest of the counters are doing well. And when it talks about the large cap ID names, our preference is HCL Tech. So for the simple reason, because the stock is trading at the record highs when the entire sector was struggling, especially the large cap ID major, it was hovering in a very narrow band. And with marginal recovery in the index, the stock is already at the record high. So this clearly shows the kind of outperformance that we expect this stock to continue with. So 1300 is something that we are eyeing as the immediate support area. So in case if somebody is willing to initiate fresh long, they can go ahead with the HCL Tech for sure, with 1300 as a stop and 1400, 1420 as a target area.
Sure, Ajit. We're just going to leave it at that. And thank you so much for taking out the time and having a conversation with us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, but we're just going to leave it at that. With this, it's a wrap, and goodbye from the entire team who puts this piece together. Thank you so much for watching. Please do post your feedback for us in the comment section below. Follow us on the link at the bottom of your screen. And for rest of the updates, stay tuned into moneycontrol.com and Moneycontrol app.